Good morning and welcome to another edition of the Daily Fix. I am your usual host and presenter, Advocate Tudo Hoyani. The Senzo MEYIWA trial, since that evidence of Brigadier Gininda of a prosecution-led investigation has always baffled everyone that has followed it. The case has now mutated into an inquiry into whether the evidence that is being presented by the prosecution can be relied upon to secure a conviction against the accused persons. Or put another way, the prosecution itself is now on trial here. The prosecution, I want to repeat, is itself now on trial. It is now on trial because we have had the testimony of many witnesses. I think up to about 80 witnesses that prosecutor George Baloyi has called in this matter. Well, the evidence of those witnesses had its own problems. What we are now seeing unfold in the defense case is a totally different scenario. Having listened to the prosecution case and now moving on to the defense case, it is like one is listening to two different cases. And indeed, there are two different cases here which were under investigation. You see, we are here dealing with the killing of Senzo MEYIWA. But as soon as that investigation got underway, differences emerged amongst the investigators, so that others took the view that there were no intruders into that house. Warrant Officer Makubu is a case in point. This is one of the people who took the view that, based on the investigations and their perusal of docket 636, there had been no intruders into that house. But on the other hand, they emerged as another group of investigators, the Gininda group, that has always insisted that there were intruders into that house. So in a sense, we have two parallel scenarios. And as docket 636, or the evidence according to docket 636, unfolds in the Pretoria High Court, it has left many people wondering and doubting the authenticity of the theory that there were intruders into that house. Because the evidence around the intruder theory is simply difficult to believe. Take, for instance, the identification of accused number 3. Remember those dental evidence. You remember how that Thabang Makeleni is supposed to have identified a gold tooth on one of the so-called intruders who had just shot Senzo MEYIWA allegedly in the house on the 26th of October 2014. And Makeleni saw these people as they came running out of the house at something like 8:30 at night. He was unable to give a definitive explanation of those so-called intruders, but was able to spot a gold tooth in one of those people's mouths. How do you fail to make an identification of a face and then, but go to an extent of even spotting a gold tooth in somebody's mouth, as if he was talking to you immediately after he shot Senzo MEYIWA, if that can be believed? So these are some of the things which have made the theory of 636 doubtful. Take, for instance, the evidence of Constable Zungu. Constable Zungu came before the Pretoria High Court, told the Pretoria High Court how his father had overheard some conversation at the Basotho hostel, in which conversation the accused probably implicated themselves in the commission of the killing of Senzo MEYIWA. And that has proved to be false, because his father has come before the Pretoria High Court to say that the affidavit allegedly deposed to by him was a forgery by Gininda. Now, the last leg of this inquiry now focuses on the second prosecution witness, this other Zungu, about what happened at the Basotho hostel. And clearly, it is imagined that the evidence of Constable Zungu is in doubt. You will recall how the court relied on that evidence. So heavily relied on that evidence during the determination of the trial within a trial, and more recently, the application of the discharge of Mapisa, accused number 4. So this case, like I'm saying, is now a case in which the prosecution itself is on trial here. Because as the defense case unravels, gaping holes are being punched throughout the prosecution evidence and leaving many people in doubt as to whether pursuing docket 636 was the right decision. Perhaps it is time to look at docket 375 that says there were no intruders into that house, and that focuses on the people in the house as the possible suspects in the killing of Senzo MEYIWA. So in the next episode, as we look forward to the resumption of the trial on Tuesday, I'll keep on giving you this analysis until we move on and get to Tuesday. Having said that, let me thank you for watching this video. Let me thank you for all the views, subscriptions, likes, and shares that I'm seeing. And have a wonderful, wonderful day.